Good morning, boys and girls. So let's review. Let's review what we did on Tuesday and what we did yesterday. So we learned 3 new terms. One of them was science, which is what we learned on Tuesday. What is science? And then 2 terms we learned yesterday, which is the scientific theory and the scientific law. So, science is a way of learning more about the natural world through observation and investigation. Remember, observation is what you see. Investigation, you look further into your observations by asking questions. Scientific theory is an attempt to explain a pattern seen repeatedly in the natural world, not just guesses or opinions. Must have observations and results from many investigations to support those theories, and they are the best explanations that have been found so far. Scientific law is a rule that describes a pattern in nature. So it must be observed repeatedly, so observed many, many times. The law is what scientists use until someone makes observations that do not follow the law. And the law helps you predict what will happen. It does not try to explain why that has happened or why something has happened. Okay? Now, today we are getting into our next lesson, which is systems. So, what is a system? A system is a group of structures, cycles, and processes that are related to each other and they work all together. So, what are some systems in your body? Well, we have a lot of systems, but one of them is the digestive system and the nervous system. And how about outside of science? So the digestive system we know is how we break down food and process food. Your nervous system is when we get anxious, that affects our nervous system. But outside of science, what do you think are some systems outside of science? Oh, let's see. Oh, school system, which we're very, very, very familiar with. There's a judicial system, and there's the transit system, which majority of us, use public transportation. So we're also very familiar with that. Let's go into the components of a system. Remember, we need all these components in the system so that everything can run smoothly. So, for example, let's take the New York City train system, right? It's a system. So, number one, the first component to any system is the common goal. What is the end result? What is the end result? What is it that you want to see happen? Well, if we're using the train system for the example, we want the train system to reach their destination from one place to another place. Okay, so that's the end goal. The end goal is you want to use the train system to go from point A to point B. The second component of the train system, because we're still using that as our example, is integration. Integration, everything must work together. The conductors, the schedule, the times, the traffic lights, the train system even has the tracks that shift. All of those pieces must work together, the components that are coming together to make the system work smoothly. Okay? The third component of a system, we're still using the same example with the train system. So interaction is the third system. There are components communicating. So they send and receive messages from each other. Remember, those involve traffic lights and they involve the schedule. The fourth one is interdependence components that depend on one another. So in the train system, everything depends on one another. So they all must work together. The conductor, the traffic lights, and the time schedule. And the last one is organization. The right component has to be at the right place at